What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
Mike,
I'm Brock, and we're once again joined by our friend Kevin Butcher. Kevin, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on, fellas.
No problem. Glad to have you. We're kicking off 2105, right? No, this is the second episode of 2105 with CPC 2105 with Erebus,
Erebus, I think.
Erebus.
and Death's Head,
Yeah, the SE card.
his special edition. Oh, that one focused really well. I need to go back to Erebus again. I mean, it's there's not much to focus on here.
No, it's another Brian Bendis. I like ink.
Yep. There's some teeth and some fingernails, maybe some fire in the background there. But yeah, that's who we're covering tonight. Couple scary guys from Brimstone.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever use that SE card for Death's Head just because that Larry Snelly card is really good.
Ditto.
Yeah, the Snelly art that's one of I think the all-time best drawings in the game as far as like
Yeah,
being a creepy looking monster type character.
that was that was the first Larry Snelly set in 94. Or
Hmm.
eight. Yeah, 94. 2094. It's one of the first art I saw, and I'm like, holy smoke, what's this?
Yeah, totally different than the Carter era too, but definitely a nice looking character for a creepy zombie looking.
Well, since one is an actual 2105 and one's an SE, let's jump into Erebus.
There he is.
Oh, he's got a nice little. He's got an interesting card in his in the book.
Would you like to read it dramatically?
Yeah, I'll do that, but the picture is different. I've never seen that picture. He's got a completely different picture in the book.
It's probably
Can
his
you share
update.
it?
Yeah, that's his second card.
I did not
That's
know
his
he did.
CPC card, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
When Ashby took him.
that's Jeff Diamond artwork, which is pretty cool.
That's impressive, you know that.
Jeff Diamond.
I, I, I don't think I've ever heard that name.
Oh, he's real.
He's a real artist. Holy.
Oh, he's real. He
He
did a lot of
drew,
the CPC stuff.
yeah, not the official CP stuff when, but after Ashby broke it off completely and it was a
Hmm.
separate fed.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
And
well,
before you ask, I did nothing with Erebus. I am one of those people, if I hate the art, I don't use the card that much. And he was more or less a manager for Death's Head for me.
he's
let me
got a
do the. I'll say, let me do the dramatic reading before we get into
Oh, gotcha.
it. I
because
got to take
I
over
don't
for
think any
Jeff's.
of us are gonna have much to say about him otherwise.
Gotta work on that dramatic reading. Okay. Joining the Brimstone Burning Team in 2105. Erebus specializes in brutal tag team matches with his partner, Death's Head, in the team of Lower World.
Mhm.
Initially very successful, the duo was unceremoniously booted out of the team in 2108 for reasons only Brimstonians could understand. Not to be put out, they signed with the CPC to become members of the Outcasts group. Followed Following the split of the GWF and CPC, Erebus and his partner stayed with the CPC and wrestled for them during the Wrestling Dark Years. He and Deathshead first joined, then turned on Talisman and his True Way team, now members in the All Brimstonian Void team, one of the most popular groups in the CPC, for their devil may care attitudes and harsh punishments of those wrestlers the fans don't care much for. He's a big guy, 6'5", 317, managed by Melf.
Mouth.
I always called him Malef.
That could be Melf, Melf, Ralph Melf.
Instead of Ralph, his mouth. Yeah, right in the
I
mouth.
I can get behind that.
Uh, he's Erebus has a definitely tag team heavy card.
Yeah, it is.
Um, Not much offense outside of tag offense.
Well,
Um,
he's one of those guys whose specialty, kind of like a Lightning or somebody like that, that was his main objective was tag.
He's got a pretty good defense. Not a lot of turnovers or takeovers, but a lot of tags. He has a down on level 2, which is fairly uncommon in the GWF, but he's also got a daze there, and only one down on level 3 defense with a tag and a leave option. So he's protected there. He has a B ring rating, so
Yeah, for a Brimstonian, the B is a little odd because they're supposed to be a violent group. He's just more along the lines of he just not good at his job.
what if he gets better in his upgrade? I think he does. Yeah, looking at his raw ratings. This
Oh, you hope.
this one is a 1026, and his upgraded card becomes a 2639. So he gets a pretty good bump when he gets
Yeah,
upgraded.
doubled.
Yeah.
See, currently I'm not teaming up Death's Head and Erebus because Death's Head is in the NGA, and he's in a super weird group because his other uh, I did have a Brimstonian group, but they all got demoted except for him because they just couldn't rack up wins together. So he's in a group with a bunch of Annie men,
Okay.
the bad guy Annie men group that I have, and Erebus is teaming up in the CPC. I have the Brimstonian group down there. He's teaming up with Brimstonian I made named Brodich,
Okay.
and so they're a tag team as well. And I don't
Nice.
normally name my Brimstonians. I just call them what they are. Like it's Blazing Skull and um what's his name? I brought all my sheets down so I could see.
I don't have the card in front of me and I don't have it pulled up. Wasn't his finisher something like Skullworks?
Yep, it was a tag finisher. It was a double top rope headbutt. Skull works. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I think Death's Head had a tag finish along that line.
No, Death's Head didn't have a tag finisher.
He
No, no,
has the
no, no. His finisher was a headbutt, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why the double headbutt made sense. So I got Mangus and Blazing Skull's a team, and Brodich and Erebus is a team. Yeah.
his mouth around.
No, he's in the NGA. He's in the middle group.
Mouth.
That's what I like calling him.
And it fits. Look at his mouth.
Yeah, he looks like a gargoyle.
I never agreed with how they colored him online. They made him
Purple.
green. No,
Or
they made him green.
I was looking at mouth. Yeah, I think he should be black, almost like a Venom.
That would be
Uh,
cool.
I think it'd make him scarier.
What color is Death's Head?
Gray.
Oh yeah, okay.
That works with green hair.
So he's a punk rocker zombie.
He is.
See, I always thought the Brimstonians were an interesting group because you could literally make them look however you want.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different types of characters from there.
It works out well because you can have the artist just take as much, you know, license on the creativity as he needs.
Hmm.
So I think the artists might actually like them as well because I know when Randy did the two women Brimstonians, Tom just said make two crazy looking demon type women,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much all Tom gave him to go by, and that's how we got Serpentine and
Hunger.
Hunger.
Hunger had that stump or that mouth in her stomach.
Yeah.
Or a mouth or a
A
mouth.
mouth. Oh shit.
And then we had Cyclops.
And
Mhm.
Turge.
Yeah, there were all kinds of different
That's not Cyclops. It's Cyclopes, isn't it?
Cyclope.
Cyclope. He's a luchador.
Yeah. The Brimstonian
Cyclope.
Luchador.
Cyclope.
Yeah, I always because we called him Cyclops. Tom's like, his name's Cyclopes. Okay.
All
But
right.
for me, that was one of the when Tom corrects people on how to say things. That I still remember. I'm sitting on the couch one time with Steve Minskoff, and Tom's going over Reynard Beguile, and Tom keeps calling him Reynard, 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 and Steve's like, it's Reynard. Tom goes, no, 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 it's Reynard. And then Steve's like, okay, Tom ass. I just started laughing. I don't know. I just found this hilarious, and I just could not stop laughing.
That would,
And I'm like, yeah, that was definitely a Minskoff thing. But back then, Steve was probably the only guy who could lip Tom.
yeah.
He could get away with it for sure.
He did it a
Yeah,
lot.
and and he just kept calling for the rest of the day. He just kept calling Tom ass. I just had to laugh at that. Brief, brief Minskoff interlude there because every so often they creep up and he had some funny things.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure you guys seen like the WWE when they went to Scotland and then when they went to Germany, how they were. Can you imagine a whole planet of rabid fans? Like if you went to Brimstone,
Yeah, yeah.
they
It's a
would
good,
obviously be the faces on Brimstone,
right. That's a good point.
and the whole planet would be rabid.
Oh, that's where that hometown advantage thing comes in.
Hmm.
That some people use. I'd always imagined Brimstone had its own wrestling promotion.
You have to turn these guys out somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah, all of them. Titan,
there's
Aethra.
so many of them. Oh yeah, they'd all have their own wrestling promotions. Just a matter of how it gets used and how they use it and are they different. Like I figured the Brimstonian wrestling promotion would just be nothing but hardcore.
Hmm.
All day, every day.
Be like a Jim Steele wet dream. Just
Jim Steele did have 47 matches on the card.
Yes.
everybody's got to be on the card.
Hey,
Yeah, I
we
was like that for the longest time, so I can't say anything.
if he can make it work, I can't even I have a hard enough time rolling 3 or 4 matches.
Like my cards usually have like 10 matches.
Hmm.
But I remember for the longest time, every wrestler got used. Just like every card was a super card. Just
Uh-huh. Even my
Yep.
super cards anymore, I'm lucky to do 20 people on the on the card.
Yeah, if you watch regular wrestling, people get left off the big cards.
Uh-huh.
It's only the people with the storylines at the current moment.
yeah.
Hmm. I need to start reverse booking again, booking toward the super card to try and get more stuff going. Like, oh, this guy hasn't been on in a while. Let's come up with something for him, and then book him in reverse. And then then the whatever I need to happen to get to the super card never works out.
That's how that's how I book my year. I have my
Yeah.
ending foods and do reverse booking. And
Now, Brock,
even when I booked in real life wrestling, that's how I would book shows.
Hmm.
Was booking.
swerving off topic real quick, Brock, I'll swerve us back, but your characters like that mummy character, do they
Uh-huh.
make it? Do they make it to your store, or are those Twitch exclusives?
Those ones, they're on the store during the skinathons, but otherwise, yeah, they're exclusive to the Twitch that event.
Okay,
There's
all right.
three that are that way. Epic Waldo, BA Draft, and Xerxes Wrap. But they'll be made available again in other
Sweet.
ways. Yep.
But let's get back here to Erebus.
Yep.
Uh, since he's we're on 2105, and I haven't really used him much because how would you power creep this little fella?
Like I said, I don't have the card in front of me and I don't have online pulled up. I am technologically impaired. If I try to pull up, I will close you guys. So, um, if I remember correctly, he's only got 2 level 3 moves on level 2. And one is a tag on 6 is a tag move,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So I would give him instead of that choice on 4, I would make that a 3 move.
Straight through three. Yeah. That
So
would help.
in tags he's gonna have 3 straight 3 moves, but in singles he's only gonna have 2.
Hmm.
That's what I would do.
I do the Brimstonian thing. He's getting that A ring.
I was gonna bring his ropes down to a B. He has a C rating in ropes.
Look at him; he looks clumsy as hell. I don't think he could run the ropes.
He could. He'd run right through him.
Yeah.
One of those teeth or something will get caught on him.
Okay. Ring an A. You bumped his ropes up, and I gave him that 3rd level 3 move.
Makes him unstoppable at that point. He's,
Tags, he would be pretty good.
yeah, he'd still get beat up pretty good. He could win some. He'd probably be like a 30-70 guy
Now,
against.
when you guys wrestle guys who have just like a strictly tag finisher,
Hmm.
do
Yep,
you re-roll that, or you just make that a like a singles finisher at a 0?
I
that's what
re-roll it.
I that was one of my house rules that I make it. I figure things are a tag team move. I don't see why that guy can't still use his half of the tag team
Yeah,
move.
especially
Unless it,
this one.
so I use it as a finisher, but I just make it a 0.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I do the same thing too.
That's fair.
Now, if they have a double finisher, like a tag finisher, like Incredible Badger, where he had the Burrow Blast and I can't
And
remember
was it Andromeda
yeah,
drop?
the Andromeda drop. Um, then I'd do that. Then I'd re-roll that the 6.
I do the very same thing because it wouldn't be quite fair to give him 2 0 moves.
No, and I don't roll up on that. That's just a re-roll for me.
Right.
Yeah, I think the official roll is just a re-roll. It's if you want to avoid a DQ move, I think you roll up a level.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a roll anymore. I haven't looked at an instruction manual to this game in probably 20 years.
Yeah, I know. How you want to play promoter?
That was another one that came up recently on my stream with the tag team finishers. Like I always switched them out if they did a tag finisher and the guy
Yeah.
kicked out. I would always switch them out, and someone's like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure that was a rule at one point, but I
No, it is
don't
a rule.
think."
It is a rule. Whoever's in the ring and hits the tag team move, if it's a pin, his partner's the one that pinned him.
Yeah.
because you make the tag to your partner. He comes in, you do the tag move, and then your partner's the one that pins him.
Hmm. That's how I always
Or,
played.
or if they kick out, he's the one that's in the match now.
Right. So you have to at least do one offensive move before switching out again. Is that a rule still too, where like after a tag you have to do one offense roll on offense once before tagging out again on offense?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
because you got guys that are on the apron with like 6 tokens on them, and you don't want them ring,
Right.
and they got to do one move, and it gets reversed, and here they are.
Yeah.
Yep. That's ended a few matches for me. Everyone, a few times on stream, like, why did you bring that guy in? Like, well, he had to be in there. He tagged in to do the finisher. So
Yep.
And we can switch over to Death's Head.
Death's Head, here he is.
Ellie. I don't think there's any difference between the Ellie and the
I
regular
don't
card.
know. There might be minor changes.
Does that Death's Head have any tags on his card?
Yeah, he's got two tags, one
That's
on
a
one and two.
that's a difference. The first Death's Head had no tags
Yeah, his raw rating went up a little bit, so that's probably what it's from.
because that was a trivia question. The only two guys that was ever a tag team, and neither one of them had a tag on their card. And it was Kraken, Hitman, Kraken and Death's Head when they were Tombstone. Neither one of them had a tag on their card, but yet they were a tag team.
I do that sometimes too. Hey, I got nothing to do with these guys. Let's put them together.
Now I can say since Death's Head was last on, he's actually won and he's a current champion for my Iron Man title.
Hmm.
And so my NGA's got some gimmicky titles. I have an Iron Man and a tournament title. So Iron Man is best 2 out of 3 falls
Okay.
with no managers at ringside, so there's no mouth.
No mouth.
And
I
and
can't tell you how many and how long it reigns, but I do know that he was in my heavy metal title picture and he was champion a few times.
He's got a decent
That's
card.
just,
yeah, it's not enough to get him a like a world title.
no.
And I don't know about a big secondary, but a third title, like a TV title, that's what these are. Like my um he can do.
Especially heavy metal. He's got a cage rating of 1, so that'll help him out a lot there.
And like Mike said earlier, I did the same thing. I didn't switch the cards out.
Yeah.
I kept Death's Head with his first card until he left in what, '08?
Yeah, I think so. And then he went to the CPC. He got a new
Because I
card over there. That's probably the least cool drawing.
but
It gets worse.
that's that's how anal I am on some guys. Like still today. Back then we didn't have top loaders. Well, I had those plastic ones, that the flimsy plastic,
Yeah.
not the hard plastic. But if a guy got upgraded pretty significantly or just an upgrade at all, he's better than his old card. I would leave the old card in the top loader and put his new card behind it. So I had his the picture I like on the front,
Hmm.
but his new stats on the back.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'll
And
admit I've redone bootlegs of mine because I didn't like the artwork. No other reason why. Just like, this guy needs a new card. Just because I didn't like the art.
I'm waiting for a new Tiny.
Maybe, maybe that'll be the one I do a classic for this year.
I still got that original green.
Put him out on green cardstock again.
Where it looks like it was drawn by Sergio Aragones.
Yep, that was definitely inspired by that. That was drawn by me.
But now you got guys that are just using that new AI computer aided generated apps to make pictures.
Hmm.
They feed in what they want and then it gives them a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
we
that's all.
actually have that. We actually have a topic coming up. We're going to do a topic show, and
A panel.
we're going to have a panel, and that's going to be one of the things because there are people who are pro AI and people who are anti AI when it comes to game art,
Well,
and I understand both sides of it because there are some people who may not be able to afford 10 pieces of artwork by an
Hmm.
right.
artist,
I get that.
and then this helps them get their ideas out.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I don't have any problem with people using AI. I have none. But I just think the cards you can instantly tell when it's done by AI.
Hmm.
Um, but when an artist puts their work into it, like the artist that broadcasts for some of his bootlegs or Warner doing bootlegs and actual game art, you can tell. And I like that a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't even ask me what I paid Daryl to do those 3 gladiators. Whew. Daryl's not cheap.
I'm sure he isn't, but the art is good.
Yep.
The art is really good.
Yeah, I think that Malice is probably one of the best arts ever in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like all three of them.
And Overkill, I said, give him a scowl. And Daryl, Overkill, that look on his face, he just looks like he's disgusted to be in the ring with you.
Yeah.
You're so beneath him.
I was
But
I'm cleaning up my room and I found a Randy Bugdale Wolf drawing that he did.
really,
Yep.
Nice.
man, why'd you bring that up and you ain't going to show it?
I know, I just remembered it and I'm like, yeah, I could
You talk about a guy with talent. That guy is phenomenal.
oh yeah, I've shown some of his artwork where it looks like it's a photograph.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
that one you sent me of that frog.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just a frog in water, but it was like,
Yeah.
he drew that. That's not a photograph. He drew that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Does he
Yep.
do, is he employed for his art?
yeah, he does some stuff. He's a self-employed artist, but he makes his money through that and he plays bass in a band because he'll always talk to Kirk Campbell actually about music.
Nice.
They talk. They'll leave comments on each other's stuff about because Kirk loves bassists for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not going to fault him.
Right.
And so
But,
they'll talk music.
That's cool.
well, okay, I know the topic is Death's Head and we've veered off a little bit, but how do you, I mean, you don't have a choice sometimes, like right now. And this guy's art, I don't know, I don't think that's Tom Rickert. That's that guy Tom met. You got a standardized GWF with all Daryl Banks art. And this special holiday edition is done by a different artist. So when you put these cards in the mix, they stick out like a sore thumb to me.
Oh yeah,
I think the style's similar enough.
It is, but and I like the guy. I mean, unlike uh, or not Banks, but what's his name? Who's doing? Why am I drawing a mental blank?
Bendis.
Yeah, Bendis. This guy understands human anatomy. He doesn't make a 4 foot long bicep and
I have a book, an autograph book, and I had Bendis sign it one time, and so he just draws a little bald Charlie Brown head, and he goes, "This is why I don't draw." And I'm like, "No, can't fault it. He's a great writer."
Yeah,
we slaughtered him at Galacticon.
poor
I
Brian.
felt bad for him after a while. Like I still remember Rob Nadon going, "Hey, I remember," because he held up Sin and Salvation. He's like, "I remember when I used to draw chest hair like this." He goes, "But I called it leaves on trees."
I think Bendis's give a darn, keep it clean, went down with each set. Because if you look at his first set, his first couple sets, and then that early classics he did,
Hmm.
they're not half bad.
That's still my favorite Wolf drawing.
And I think I don't give that much anymore, went down and his art reflected it.
Could have been
And
a
I
time.
think they all happen. Yeah, like you saw it happen with Chuck Carter.
Yep.
He was just phoning it in, and even Tom admitted he was just phoning it in by the end because he was just busy with other things.
Yeah, you have a lot going on.
And we give him a lot of crap, but Gustovich, his art was just so simplistic. I mean,
Hmm.
the human anatomy was pretty much right, but
Yeah.
he just didn't do much detail.
No.
No,
And he
no,
had three or four poses.
yeah. And he was big on the dish gloves. Everybody's got to
Yep.
have gloves.
Dish gloves.
That's my favorite new thing. We should make a bootleg the dishwasher.
But Erebus and Death's Head don't have dish gloves on.
They don't. They don't. They don't even. I don't
They
even
got
think they can wear
fingernails.
gloves.
Don't think so either.
But let's switch topics
Or wait a
to
minute.
our
We gonna upgrade Death's Head?
no, because we've already done that one.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, when his card first came out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And you're not gonna like it's the same thing but with two bonus tags on it. So let's switch over to our Mount Rushmore topic, which was your four your favorite sporting moments, non-wrestling, that you've been to.
Now, wait a minute. That you've been to or
That
that
you've
you've
been to.
seen live?
No, that you've been to. Like we've all
Well,
been to ball games and hockey games and football games. Are there plays that stick out? Something happened.
oh, see, I misread when you sent me that because I thought witnessing it live, even on TV, you're witnessing it live. You didn't watch the replay, but I wasn't there on all of my picks except one. And I don't think you could even call that a sporting event. But
Well, if you want, you can. I'll start, and then Brock and then you can. If you need to switch it up, if you've seen it on TV, then you can work with that.
but saw it live. You had to have saw it live.
Yeah, for me, it's all going to be I'm there,
Oh, and it's non-wrestling, right?
non-wrestling. So I'm like, yeah, I was on the floor for WrestleMania 18. That would probably be, one of my top things, but I'm not including that. So for me, my four things. One was a minor league ball game, single A ball game. I was there with Tim Dalton and my wife. It was a 15 inning ball game. The entire game was insane because each team had about 12 ejections. And it got to the point where the pitchers were playing in the outfield. Uh, it was just it was an absolutely insane game, and it started from the first batter getting called out on a third strike, and it just kept on rolling, and it was the whole game. I'm just sitting with Tim, sorry, we're just like this is nuts, and it was one of the greatest games I've ever seen. It was so bad it was funny. Second would be another baseball game, but it's when I was at the World Series between Toronto and Atlanta, Game 5. And I remember I had an entire row to myself because the guys to the right of me got kicked out. People to the left of me left. And I remember Pat Borders gets up in the eighth inning, hits a two-run single, and I got put on the big screen because I'm running down the walkway, high-fiving everybody as I'm going down. My third would be I was at a Hamilton Tiger Cats game.
Tie cats.
The Ticats eat them raw, baby. They're down by 14 with 2 minutes left. It's the temperature had dropped to about when I got there it was like 18 degrees, and then it dropped to like -2. So the wind and that just kicked in, and I was with a buddy. We're like, let's go. And this is the only time I've left early in a game, and because of this game, I've never left since. So we're leaving, and Hamilton does an onside kick, gets the ball, does a long bomb, touchdown. They're only down. They kick it to they're playing Edmonton. They, they kick it to Edmonton. There's no fair catch in the CFL. The guy goes to catch it, boom, gets the ball knocked out. Hamilton picks it up, runs it in for another touchdown. And then they go for the 2 point and win it. They score 15 points in less than 2 minutes. And I'm like, I was there for the entire game, but those last 2 minutes, which I'm outside of the stadium listening to it now, watching it on the because you got a TV outside. So all the people were leaving early. We're like, no, can we come back in? So I'm counting that as being there live. Okay, and my fourth one was my first ever Toronto St. Louis game. I met some, you know, I had bet a bunch of guys at work, $5 on a win, $10 on a shutout. Toronto's up 5-0 with 15 minutes left, and St. Louis scores 5 goals in 15 minutes in the third and wins it in overtime. That'd be my top five. And for my honorable mention, I'm gonna say me throwing out the opening pitch at a Jamestown Jammers game.
I was there for that.
Me too.
Nobody had a clue who you was.
Nope.
We did.
I'd only been wrestling like a year, so
We gave you a pretty good pop, though.
yeah, yeah. Okay, what do you guys have?
I was there for Bill Guerin's 400th goal. I had these really awesome seats. I didn't even know they sold these seats. My friend Chris Jaros got them for us, and they're right up by the scoreboard. There's like these two seats on a little balcony, and we were sitting there, and it was like the coolest experience ever. Like it was kind of terrifying at first when went and sat down, but they lost that game. But he got his 400th goal there. I had a similar experience to you, Mike. It was in 2013. I forget who they were playing, but the Pirates were getting blown out by somebody. It was the Reds. It was the Reds. They're getting blown out by the Reds, and I was with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, my wife and I, and they wanted to leave. And I'm like, "Oh, we can't leave. There's still hope." And of course, we left because I got outvoted. And in the car ride home, we find out that the Pirates came back and clinched their first playoff berth in over 20 years. And I could have been there. I was at, I can't pinpoint one in particular, but it was fun that the summer where Sosa and McGuire were going for the home run title. I was at a few of those games, and that was
I'm watching
fun.
that right now, the documentary on it.
The atmosphere of that was fun. Like people were just excited for baseball. So I would just put that season because I went to a lot of games that season. And then I was I don't remember who we were playing, but it was another Pirate game. And uh, it was an 18 inning game. And I remember they did a 14th inning stretch. Like that game you were describing with the pitchers in the outfield and stuff. The pitchers were all batting. Like they had run out of positional players. So all the pitchers were batting and stuff like that as pinch hitters. And I believe Ryan Vogelsong hit in had the game-winning RBI, who was a starting pitcher that they pulled in to pinch hit. So that was fun. And my favorite Steeler game I went to, it was a few years ago. I went with Diana. It was a Thursday night football against the Tennessee Titans, and it was so cold. They had those hand warmer things that you crack and then they get hot. So I had a bunch of those. Just going through those throughout the game. The cold doesn't bother me, but this was really cold. It was raining, snowing, it was just horrible, but didn't want to leave, because it was just fun. But and they won that game, so those are my top four. And for an honorable mention, Just the first time I took my older two kids together to a Pirate game was fun. They won. They won that game too. Forget who it was
Yep.
against, but
Pittsburgh has a great stadium now.
oh yeah, it's a beautiful stadium.
One of the best.
I love it. It's the only reason to go to the park to check out the stadium. But yeah, other than that,
All you can eat hot dogs. That was a good night.
it was.
So what you got for us, Kev?
All right, man, I had to shift it up because I misunderstood. But the one and only Super Bowl I ever got to go to, and I had to, because I suffered being a Saints fan for so long. I got to go to Florida, sat in the nosebleed sections, but the Saints beat Peyton Manning and the Colts, man. When Sean Payton called that onside kick to start the second half, and then Tracy Porter picks off the ball with 3 minutes or something left to go. I was in, I don't know, it's probably about 50-50. There was a lot of New Orleans fans. Uh, my other one that's really burnt into my mind was Matthew. When Matthew was playing Little League Baseball, he was my pitcher and utility infielder, man. He played everywhere and he made the All-Star team. But being an All-Star among other All-Stars, he got stuck in the outfield and he wasn't happy about that. And he was so bummed. And right at the end of the game, the tying run was on second with 2 outs and the ball was hit a line drive over third baseman's head and it bounced right in front of Matt. And he put his glove down and it took a bad hop on him. And when it came up, he was fumbling it. I'm like, oh, the one time it was hit out there that, and the coach is saying, hold the ball, because he didn't want the guy from first to score and for the go ahead run. But Matthew, I was right behind the backstop at home plate. Matthew threw a frozen rope from left field, and it came right over the runner's left shoulder, right into the catcher's glove, right in front of him for the out. Uh, Other than that, I lived kind of a. I didn't do. Oh, I guess you could say this was because a lot of people my age, but I got to see the Big Red Machine live.
Nice.
Well, it's
Johnny
because the
Bench,
90s.
Dave Concepcion, Tony Perez, Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Cesar Geronimo, Ken Griffey, George Foster. I mean, and I got a baseball signed by every one of those guys.
Oh,
It's cool. When you went to
And
the Super Bowl, you kind of trumped us
yeah.
with that
well, I
anyway.
had to, man.
I was
I
at a
mean,
World Series now. My favorite all-time baseball would be that, if you're watching something on live, like Kev was talking about, would be that Kirk Gibson hitting the solo shot.
that's on my list.
Pete Beck was at that game.
I know he was.
I'm like,
Now, the other one I was there live in 1975. I was 9 years old at Kings Island. Back when Kings Island wasn't what it is today, it was better. I saw Evil Knievel
oh,
try to set the record for jumping those cars.
Nice.
And they had the ramp that came up, and because he came up short, but thank God they had the ramp that came up and was a flat on, because he came down on that. He didn't wreck. So that would probably be it. I don't have a Mount Rushmore.
okay. Well, I did manage to find the Randy Bugdale Wolf drawing.
Ooh. Ooh.
This is just a quick little sketch he did.
I've seen that. Yes, you've showed me that before.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And
That's
the card here is for Dr. Wolf. And he's saying he can do a heart transplant in 3.8 seconds.
So
there you go.
that is awesome.
Wolf
What year,
2.
what year was you born, Mike?
71.
Oh, okay. So see, when you sent me, this is going to be our Mount Rushmore. and you said that you've seen live. I'm even kicking it. Does he mean that I went to live or actually I was watching on TV when it happened? But my list was 1980, The Miracle on Ice. I guess that really wasn't live because it was on tape delay, but I saw it when everybody else saw it on television.
Right.
The Kirk Gibson 1988 World Series home run against Dennis Eckersley and the A's. James Buster Douglas knocks out Mike Tyson. And one of the greatest plays, and I freaking hate the Celtics, but in 87, the Eastern Conference Championship, 5 seconds left to go. Isaiah Thomas throws, all he has to do is
Oh,
inbound the ball, and he
5 seconds
throws it.
left. There was like 1.2 seconds left.
No,
And
there was five
Bird
seconds.
steals it. Oh,
A bird
Bird
comes
steals it.
flying and he passes off to Dennis Johnson, who lays it in. And Isaiah just walking off the court
And that was the first time Isaiah ever threw in a ball because normally he doesn't do it.
right. But that was amazing.
I was watching that. I saw that live. But we should probably wrap this up here.
I do have to say I
Right.
misspoke. It was John LeClair's 400th goal that I saw.
Oh, okay.
John LeClair.
Well, you've probably seen some of the legendary Penguins live, haven't you?
Yes.
You've saw Mario and
Mm-hmm. Yager.
yeah,
See, I
All
never
that.
got to see Gretzky play live. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on TV, yeah. Same as Hall. I never got to see Hall play live. I got to see Pronger. And when it comes to baseball, I saw a few of the greats, especially for my era, like Clemens and Cone and Halladay.
Mm-hmm.
For pitchers, I've seen Frank Thomas hit a home run in the top of the 12th inning to win it for Chicago.
that's another. I guess that'd be my Mount Rushmore. The Columbus Clippers. They were the. Who are they now? Are they back to the India or the Guardians? But they were the farm team of the Yankees at that time. And the Tidewater Tides came in, and they had some. I was at that Clippers game. They had some tall, lanky black pitcher named Daryl Strawberry. Or not, yeah, there's is it Strawberry was a pitcher, right?
He was an outfielder, I think.
Yeah, he was an
Well,
outfielder.
who's the pitcher? Um, I love when
Doc Gooden,
no. Dwight Gooden?
that's Doc Gooden.
Yeah. I think that was because he was pitching. He only was there for like a couple weeks, but he came to and played the Columbus Clippers. He shut them out.
Nice.
And I want to ask you before we go off air, are you a bandwagon jumper? Why do I see you wearing Kansas City Chief hats? How long have you been a Chiefs fan?
I've been a Chiefs fan since Christian Okoye.
The Nigerian Nightmare. I remember Christian Okoye.
Yeah, that'd be about 88, I think.
But
Bandwagoner.
Yeah, yeah,
man,
I'm a horrible bandwagon. And Neil Smith and Derek Thomas. My favorite all-time game for in the NFL is Joe Montana when he was quarterbacking the Chiefs against John Elway, and the lead changed like 6 times, including like 3 times in the last 2 minutes. Oh, I've seen that game like 5 or 6 times. I used to have it on tape.
how many seasons did Montana play for the Chiefs?
I think 3.
Really? I know they went to the AFC Championship once and they lost to Buffalo. So he could have. But in what was it, 81? My allegiance wasn't, I was a kid and I wasn't really following football. But I saw a game where all these people wear bags on their heads that said ain't. I said, this team needs a fan. So I became oh man, I suffered. And I was a Braves fan. People accuse me of being a bandwagon jumper, but I fell in love with Dale Murphy. I don't know
Yeah,
if you remember.
you've been a Braves fan for as long as I've known you.
Yep. And
Sorry,
last,
he played for Kansas City two seasons.
okay. And I was about ready to give up on the Braves. They traded Dale Murphy to the Phillies. And I told my buddy Don, I said, I'm through. And he said, no, man, the Braves are going to be good next year. They've got these pitchers coming up that's unbelievable. And I'm like, yeah, right. And they made the World Series.
We won't talk about that.
Toronto.
Yeah, they beat the Pirates in the NLCS 2 years in a row.
But let's wrap this up here.
All right. It's
All right,
been
everybody.
fun.
Always. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please, if you have not done so, please click that subscribe button. We need to get back up to 170. It's right there below Kevin. He's pointing to it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. While you're here, scroll on down to the description. You'll find all of our friends who make Filsinger Games related content, including the official Filsinger Games podcast Roll Up, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, Dizzy Dice from Lee Lamprey, Solo Promoter from Grant Pachoco. Grant is also here on YouTube, along with Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling, Bucky749, Brad Plays 81, and after further review, I'm trying to play as much as I can on Twitch. I have some big plans coming up for the new year. Hopefully, that'll all start working out here soon. So pay attention to that. I stream on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I'll always do Champions of the Galaxy on Sundays, but I've been trying to do it on Tuesdays and Fridays as well. So check that out. And yeah, we'll see you next time, everybody.
So, before we go, I was going to say our current episode just come out with Malice, Thunder, and Mayhem. We got 20 views and only 2 likes. We need you to hit that like button so we can get out there. The more likes you get, the more it goes into people's rotation. We need
Right.
Maybe we just have to make stuff that people like.
Yeah.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there is way more than 170 people on the Discord, GWF Discord, or COT Discord, and on the board. Come on, you people. Just subscribe. It doesn't take nothing.
Doesn't cost anything.
And when it pops up on your phone, if you don't want to watch it, just ignore it.
Just hit the like button and move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Night all.
Good night, everybody.
Later.